Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to our webinar today, Resolve the Unresolved. And we have been focusing in the last three webinars on key issues which have been plaguing business operations, whether it is small or large. And we have talked about different aspects, be it utilizing the web, uh, discussing on the manpower, how to take the business to the next step. And we have been discussing various topics which might be of interest to the community which manages and runs business. So today we decided to focus on how to enable the next generation into the family business, because that has been a critical point of discussions with various business houses over the period of time. And we decided to focus on it today. Today's challenges are completely different compared to what it was before. In the 21st century, first of all, there's a lot of competition, which is not only localized, but it is a global environmental issue. At the same time, there are challenges of transition for the younger generation to step into the shoes and take over the new businesses. I was going through some data while preparing for the discussions, and I've been talking to Ahmed and Mr. Goel before the discussion. Roughly, I found that 65% of India's GDP in the organized sector comes from family businesses, which is very, very important. And 35% of the Fortune 500 companies globally are family owned. On the other hand, a very interesting figure is only 10% of the business families have been able to survive beyond the third generation. So obviously, there's much to be understood and discussed as we take this discussion forward. With me today, we have Mr. Ravinder Goel.
Hello.
And we have Mr. Amit Barua. Mr. Goel is a founder member of Panisha eBusiness. In fact, some of you are aware, he has a rich experience in terms of delivering and managing learning and education operations for corporates, at the same time enabling corporates and business houses for the last 25 plus years. He himself, I was talking to him today, post independence within his family is the second generation person who is taking his family business forward. And if I'm right, Mr. Goel is also within his family, if I take pre-independence, is the 8th generation person, right, Mr. Goel?
That's correct.
It's taking it forward.
Yeah.
So it will be good to hear from him. At the same time, as I'm aware, he is helping his next generation to come up and take clutches of his business. And a lot to hear from him. Our guest speaker today is Mr. Amit Barua. Amit is today joining us from Chandigarh, right? Amit, you're in Chandigarh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amit has a rich experience of 25 years plus. Now, when I say rich experience, it is across industry, and he has been, as he likes to call, learning at every stage of his career. He has been educating at the senior level. Professionally, he has been dean of various B schools. Of late, he was associated with the Korea Group of Educational Institutions and has been the executive director for Innovation Group of Institutes. He is also a member and special invitee to Chandigarh Management Association. He himself is a doctorate from PTU. And he has been also facilitating family businesses, mentoring transitions within family businesses, and also working with corporates. To start off with, I would like to invite Mr. Goel to share a few words and a bit of his experience on the topic. Mr. Goel?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Hello, everyone, and I welcome you all in our fourth webinar on behalf of Panacea IBIS Consulting Group Forum, Resolve the Unsolved. Today, as we take along the topic with Mr. Amit and his experience, bringing or integrating the next generation in the family business is one of the crucial component, and taking forward along with the family and the professional management and all the entire decision making. To highlight this, I just want to share one picture with you. I hope everyone can see it.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, if you look at generally when we have a family business going on, so this is what we expect, that family ownership management. Like when we talk about family as a like a nuclear family where father son is there, or like a family where many brothers are there, and then their next generations, the children comes up. So this entire circles they overlap, and probably it becomes like this. The family takes over everything, the management, the ownership, everything is been shadowed with the family environment. Like it becomes more of a like a family business rather than a professionally managed business, where the management is been covered mostly by the family members only. Now I have just taken one slide from the KPMG Enterprise Center for Family Business. If you look at like the process, activities, and the desired outcomes, so the management succession is one part, ownership succession is another part. When we talk about activities, family communication, family business meetings, family council meetings, family business rules, all these points are basically, you see, we focus on only one thing, which we call, when the next generation comes, they talk about designation. And as a father, probably father always looks for that my son should become CEO with experience, without experience. So we do not take it as a process. We take it as a like a owner base. If this is my company and I do what I want. So this becomes one of the biggest problem. We do not set the dynamics right, which otherwise, if you look at on this sheet, like integrated family members, assessed options, informed decision making, comfort levels. So we do not value the senior management who are already there running that operation since maybe the last couple of decades. And when they have been taken care by the youngsters who are just came out from the college, so the decision making and the values of the company, ethos of the companies are somehow been shattered. If we take example of, let's say if we talk now, example of the most talked about family, Mukesh Ambani. Now, Mukesh Ambani is one of the richest person in India. Mukesh's wife Neeta also sits on the board. His son Akash and daughter Isha are on the boards of the company retail and telecom units. Now, if we look at Mukesh's business, probably he's getting into succession in a very careful way, in a strategic way. He has not made them to rule the RIL or some major companies where already experienced management is there, and he's inducting them slowly and steadily. Whereas if we go back to the Dhirubhai Ambani's style of succession, so like Mukesh and Anil is one of the biggest family feuds, we can see it in the history. We can take example of Samsung Electronics. Though it is it looks that professionally managed company, but this is again a family company. Lee Kun-hee, he is the successor of his father who set up Samsung. And now the next generation, they all are coming and joining at different levels. They are not in the company as owner of the company. They are taking care of certain responsibilities. They are taking care of particular areas and growing within the company, not being promoted directly as that, yes, we own the company and we are going to rule this world from the day one. So probably we need to talk about like the voice of the people, the family people, when they are inducted. So their voice has to be planned in such a strategic way that it amalgamates with the voice of the management which is already there.
True.
So generally in our family businesses, proper planning is never done. Communication with the junior members are not done properly, and this all converts into conflict, probably which we can recollect about Ranbaxy and Fortis promoters having such a big business venture, and they all are fighting cases in the courts. In a total, so our part is that we need to have, like every company have an induction program for the employees, but we do not have any induction program for the family members, how they should behave. There is no mentorship. We do not we do not consider the trusted advisors. So we do not talk about like the bridging the gap between visions of different generations. Now this again comes as a problem. Now another family, probably you all know Singhanias, the junior Singhania with the feud with the senior Singhania. So it is all more about how to manage people and the right of ownership with respect to a professional environment, how it should go about. Like as Sandeep said, I come from a family which been into business way back in 1827. We were like paying 1 lakh rupees as revenue tax. We do nothing in compared to them. But yes, business is definitely there. But we cannot say that we are in the same line of business what they were doing. So diversions are there, and changes are there. So that's fine. But continuing the saga is a very critical component, and most of the my level of generation, if I talk about, most of the places I've seen very few cases where the generation is going along, and the next generation they are interested in participating in the same business our generation is doing. So probably best of luck to all the entrepreneurs and fathers. I could see some people and the business owners for the next generation. Be prepared for a good what you call induction program. Prepare it and take help of professionals. And now back to Sandeep.
Thank you, Mr. Goel. In fact, those are very, very important points. And as we move forward, I think Amit and me won't disagree much because we have been involved into coaching family transitions for last couple of years. So I would invite Mr. Amit Barua to come across, share his thoughts and experiences with us over here on integrating the next generation into the family business. Over to you, Amit, please.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Mr. Goel. You have actually put the whole perspective into the rhythm. And whatever examples you have given, I would definitely like to come over one after the another, and then take it to the main concept what we are looking at and trying to ponder on. So looking into like here, basically the basic, the ethos of this particular track or the track what we are following these days is to solve the unsolved. And taking this, let me take on the, for example, the example what you have given was Ambani. Mukesh Ambani, whatever he's doing, that's fair enough. But then what happened to Dhirubhai Ambani? He was a first generation entrepreneur. That's very, very important. He became an entrepreneur after doing a job. So there was the right opportunity. He was not a born entrepreneur. It is a situation, opportunity, and his interest in the business, what he actually got into the business. Uh, when he was into this particular business, uh, he grew it to an extent, looking into what the opportunity was available. Since he got into textile, and that too, cotton textile was in, then the synthetic came in, and he found that synthetics makes, or the margins in synthetics is far better off. So he actually jumped into that. I need not say it, the reason for saying it. I will let you know the reasons over the period of time. And then he just not, so then he, from a textile, he got into a backward integration. He started making chemicals. And of course, he started making till the last level of that particular product, the petroleum, from where the whole, or rather the cracker units, from where the byproduct came for making the synthetic yarn, from the yarn till the textile. The issue of between the Anil and the Mukesh was their way of their working, their working style. So working style of an individual cannot be a corporate working style, right? If you have got two siblings or two kids, each one has got his own brains, and he or she works in its own way. There are no single DNA which is alike. So you have to adapt to it. You have to understand what this particular person wants, because that is a person. And again, the issue was with an Ambani was that nobody knew that your Dhirubhai Ambani will lose, or will lose the control in terms of, because he had that particular medical issue. So then there was a void. There was no succession planning. But if you look the way the whole the conglomerate was made, Dhirubhai, Mukesh was very close to Dhirubhai. So he used to think what the father used to think. Whereas Anil used to think which was aligned to what is required into the industry at that point of time. Or it was more of a industrial scenario. So Anil wanted to get into, for example, entertainment, because entertainment is big then, it's big now, right? If you just look into the how the whole entertainment have changed, right, from the cinema hall to now the likes of Amazon, Netflix, and your Hotshot. There are so many more which is coming up, which is actually got those video rentals out of the business. So they are basically offshore of video rentals. So because since there was not a proper succession planning, that's where the family fluid happens. And of course, one thing which I take it very positive with the Reliance Fluid is this, that it has actually helped the shareholders, because it has opened up the immense wealth which got stuck otherwise. If Dhirubhai Ambani would have been around, or the whole potential would have been typically what they have not segregated. So all these the wealth creation by making and unlocking the wealth which was into the group companies won't have been possible. They don't come out. For example, if you look into the Dabur family, Dabur family have been into fluid for a long time, but then they all moved out, and they are all stakeholders, and they bought very strong professional managers. And that's the reason, if you look into that, there is no ugly spat happening. Like, for example, a father and son duo of the Singhaniyas, JK Group. Haripad gave everything to Gautam, and Gautam chucked his father out of the whole system. Except the dividend, he does not make anything else beyond that. Or rather, he's not even making, because he transferred his shares to his only son. This is history. So now let me take it out, that what is the problem which is coming now into the family business, which is typically one generation old. See, maybe like Mr. Goel, he's saying that he's eighth generation. Definitely there is an old concept of a karta. Karta is a guy who actually controls the family assets and maintains the harmony into the family. So he's a guy who maybe he is say he is an MD of the group where everybody listens to him because he's more of that particular level, typical Indian ethos and working where he's a guy, what he says, the people make move around him. And wherever there is a kata in a family, and typically it's a family owned business. Now I'm only talking about the succession. So why there should not, see, the problem comes if there is not a proper succession being done. So the succession only. So in terms of, like when there is so old Hindu family, only maybe your HUF does have a problem, but then these are not very major problems. The major problems comes in the second generation, the first generation entrepreneurs. When the second generations want to get into that first generation, what the first generation is doing is more so because of our time. See, maybe the last 2 decades, maybe all these internet kids, you call it internet kids. So these kids, maybe like these are again who are born in 80s and 90s. They think that whatever their parents are doing, it is not to be done that way because they are very, very fast. So most important thing is this: how do you handle this particular your generation? See, if you're already a businessman, you on a DNA of doing or being an entrepreneur into their system, right? Your son or a daughter, anybody, they're gonna be a good businessman, right? One for sure. But the only thing is this: how are you trying to get them into system and at what stage? I give you with my academic the same pursuance also. I used to give lots of kids who come from the who's who of the business family. I used to tell the parents, गले में लेकर जाओ, हाँ, लेकिन गले में उस गले में मत लेकर जाओ जहां से वो पैसा देखे. Because अगर वो पैसा देखता रहा ना, हाँ, तो वो बस वो पैसा देखेगा. He will not see कि वो पैसा earn कैसे करते हैं, right? The best example in terms of this is iShares. iShares, Dr. Mr. Lal. Mr. Lal, when he bought in, because I know it because your Mr. Bhargav was my friend's father. He was an MD of iShares. Vikram, when he was bought into iShares, he was not bought in at a top level. He was absolutely bought at the lower level. He went in as a supervisor into the iShares factory, right? And he has come on through the ranks. That firstly know the business of making tractors. If you don't know how to make a tractor, how will you can do it? Be a guy, be an hands-on. Because it is not you who will be doing the job. It is your worker. And people who are at a major strength, you need to be having an emotional bond with them. Controlling is not very important because the most important thing, you might be having lots of money, but if you don't have a right type of manpower, the money is waste. You might be having an ample money to spend on SEOs and your web presence and things like that. Order might come in, but if you don't have a right person who can actually help you out to produce those goods and to see to it that it's been produced in the best of the your environment, the best of the quality. But then lots of people these days says everything is machine made. So when it is a machine made, you don't even have an aura of the food in there. It might look very good, very nutritious value, but then I'm telling you, it does not have much of a shelf life, right? Similarly, so it is the family business need to be seeing it out in terms of the first generation, second generation, third generation. You keep on doing what you are doing, but then the next generation, you need to give that sort of a leeway. I've gotten a very close, which I've mentored last year. These people are into absolutely trading business, share trading business. They have their own company. Two sons. One son said, "I'm not interested into doing this, and I want to get into your AI trading." And for everything, what the parents and the whole family used to say, he used to go the different way. Only thing alternative was, okay, you want to start, you tell me the fund you want. Parents gave that particular fund, and he says, okay, you are of your own. We cannot fund you beyond that. Next generation, then they apart from this business, they went into pharma. The pharma business, they picked up at 15 crores. It is already clocking around 75, 80 crores, right? The first child who went out of the family, now he is in a dilemma that he wants to come back to the pharma business. And this is a problematic because the second boy, he is created that, so there is a resistance happening across. But then the roads have been shut down. So it is not that typically the child number comes down, but the only thing is this: when you are trying to mentor that particular child, because business is not at all easy. Professionals who are at a top level, at a CEO level, at a CFO level, at an ops level, they are all entrepreneurs. Rather, they are entrepreneurs, because they have to be an entrepreneur in order to understand and run the business and draw the type of salaries they get. Because nobody will give you your 6 crore package unless and until you're contributing substantially and giving your time 24/7. It's typically like a businessman. Business is very, very tough. Kids know that. They understand the business is tough. But then over the period of time, they know that once they start putting the effort that what the parents, the father or the family have put on, they have seen the windfall gain, which does not come otherwise, right? And it is always an opportunity. So typically, businessman is a guy who can actually shift his business from one business to another in a quick, which are typically a guy from a services background, he cannot do that. Now, tell me one guy who was selling your insurance would go out and sell a pharmaceutical product. It's not possible. But yes, today you are selling a car or you are into a showroom. Tomorrow you can actually get into a pharma business. Third time you can actually go and make a university. Nobody is stopping you, because at the end of the day, you are trying to bring in that sort of expertise and the maturity. It's running a business is all about maturity. So getting that particular child at a right age, right thought is what is and most important thing for transition and getting the second generation into your business. Another most important is this: lot many times parents are very, very reluctant to invest for the idea with a child has bought in. You have to have, when you are building up a business, I'm definitely, if you're a first generation business, when you got into business, your parents would have said, what, like, why you want to do a business? Why don't you do a job around? So there was a type of an enthu, which over the might of time, might be your father would have stroked it or your mother would have stroked it. I'm definitely both of them won't have stroked it across. So similarly, then the next generation comes out with a next your level of business, because the business is changing. Every 10 years, the business changes. If you just look into the COVID time, the best business as of now is to sell the COVID product, masks, hand sanitizers, your gloves, the PPE kit. What is the cost of production of a mask? 3-ply mask, 6-ply mask. It does not make it. I'm telling you in terms of, see, the roll comes, the 5-kilo rolls come for around 3,000 rupees. And you can make with that 3,000 rupees, you can actually have 30,000 rupees of your product being sold, right? So that can be done across.
What we are trying to come to is, the initial part is what you are saying, Mr. Barua, and what Mr. Goyal also shared, means it is very important to allow the next generation to experience and understand the complete business operation as such, right? That means what you are
See,
saying
that
is,
is there. Apart from Sandeep, apart from that, I'm also trying to say is this: get what your child wants to do, understand, because see, it's gonna be it's a smaller part of your bigger operation. If you are a merchant, for example, if you're a merchant, I'm telling you, you're selling steel, a very basic thing, you're selling steel rod. But then, see, how will you expand it to the next level?
right,
So what steel mix? You might be selling Tata Steel and you're very happy with that. But then maybe it's a maybe it's a business. Your son might get bored with that. He says, okay, what beyond Tata Steel? Can I do anything beyond Tata Steel? So what is an opportunity you give it to him? Because he says it's a very boring business. If he's a guy who has got lots of energy, he wants to do and he wants to utilize that particular energy.
right.
So
So,
why can't we have a next this thing? So Tata Steel does not only come with bar; they come with flats also. They come with rolls also. So you might come out with a particular product where you are making something out of that roll. Give them particular leeway. That's it. For example, I give you like there was few years back, Sunflame. Sunflame, all those Sunflame was not doing amazingly well.
हाँ.
Similarly, so what I was telling about Sunflame used to come out with a gas stove. They are also still coming with a gas stove. But then Sunflame went in with a gas stove because only Hotline used to come out with a gas stove with a toughened glass. It was the second generation which said we will also like to get into the same segment, and we want to expand our and we want to expand your brand value. So they went into so many more products, which is typically more kitchenette products.
I think Mr. Goyal
Right.
wants to share something at this stage.
Yeah. Tell me, Mr. Goyal.
Amit, like we have from our district, Mr. Mahesh Trikhaji with us.
Yeah.
Typed in the chat box that second generation is going on, and
Right.
Mohit, Mr. and some more people. So I'd ask Maheshji to share his real life scenario with us so that we all can be benefited.
Oh yes, sorry.
Yeah. Why not? Because the idea is this: may all these forums always help with the live example. What given these things has actually been picked from the all those major dailies and studies. So if we have something which is a live case study, why not? It's going to be helping for everybody.
Well, thank you, Ravinder Bhai.
Yeah.
And I care what we went through on this and how it happened.
Yeah.
Though this is the typical example of maybe being close. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I started this business of mine in 1995. And from that day one, my son was not with us. He was earlier studying in Manipal, and then he went to USA. He became an engineer and then started working there. And meanwhile, we were expanding without a hope that there would be a kind of a Boris to take it over. But since we were expanding in our way, that opening up a lot of offices in India, one day we put up the question to our son that would he like to come back or would he like to join the business? He was at that time working for Bank of New York in their advanced research analysis kind of a job. And he used to we used to ask him कि तुम क्या करते हो? He said आपको समझ नहीं आएगी. तो हमने कहा चलो यार फिर भी you let us know क्या करते हो? He says what I am doing with my team is that the world would be after 15 years. हम सारा दिन बैठे यही रिसर्च करते रहते हैं. So they'll have a better idea how this industry would be doing after 15 years. So he said, "Chalo, give me some time." So, as a routine matter, we for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, we just forgot. But obviously, he was in USA, and his mom was getting a bit anxious कि वो क्या कर रहा है, शादी वहाँ करेगा, यहाँ करेगा. So those kind of coming in, and then she went back to him. आप जल्दी बताओ, या तो पापा अपना बिजनेस थोड़ा लो स्पेस पे रखें, या आप आओ, या आप अमेरिका में आप लो. Again he asked for a time, but then he came back within a week's time. He says जी मैं आ रहा हूँ. अब यहाँ भी ऑफिस तभी खोलूंगा जब यहाँ मैं कुछ सीख के आ जाऊंगा अपने ट्रेड का. So he came back, and he came back. My mission was to involve him with the business, and my wife's mission was to involve him in wedding, his wedding. That is, कि शादी करा देंगे अब यहाँ आएगा तो. And he being the only son, of course I have a daughter also, तो हमारा मन तो था कि वो रुक जाए. But personally myself never wanted him to be pushed around. So when he came, I had a half an hour exclusive discussion with him, explained him what it is. दिमाग था उसका, अभी भी है. So he said, चलो पापा मैं I'll take a chance. मैं कहता देख मेरी तरफ से compulsion नहीं है. If you are getting emotionalized by mom, वो तू देख ले. But मेरी तरफ से कोई pressure नहीं है, because you are working for Bank of New York. He was drawing 80,000 at that time, about 11 years back, 12 years back.
Correct.
हाँ. तो कहता नहीं पापा, मैं अब मम्मा इतना बोल रही है तो I'll come back. And one day he came and sat with us, understood the business, and after almost a year he said, no, I'm settling here. So and now he's taken over and almost taken it to almost we have an increase of 400% after he joined till now.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much. So for me, it was kind of a easier transition going into the second generation. But in our trade, I have found a lot of people have either closed down or sold off their businesses because I am into international freight forwarding and custom brokerage, which was किसी को कोई काम नहीं आता था ना, तो वो custom brokerage करता था. So we had.
नहीं साहब क्या होता है? That's a very technical trade. It's a very technical
25
case.
years. 25 years back it was.
Your thing. My friends are there into this trade. They started with K-Line, and then they were with international trade forward. DHL का था, N से था. They used to bid around, and then people were working for Maersk, and I have a lot of friends.
I was also working for a similar companies. I was working for an American company. No, Bax Global. It was an air freight, Burlington Northern Air Freight. They had about 128 aircrafts of theirs in competition to UPS and others. Before that, I worked for Ericsson, Televistas and all service class people. फिर ये business चला तो he said, पापा चलो मेरे को अगर नहीं जमेगा ना तो I can always go back. I had the option.
Yeah. See, definitely. That's what I'm saying, because see, the best about you is this, you have given that sort of a leeway, usna space diya usse. Right?
Space,
so, see, giving a space is very important. And of course, you had given him that, if you want to come back, you start an operation in US. So, yes. It was you have planned it very strategically.
Well, it happened.
See, whatever happened, whatever discussion you had, whatever, so it was put the things very strategically.
Yes.
So he also said, okay, let me understand the business, and then I opened up other things. So similarly, that's what I'm trying to say. You need to get the people, the next generation, hands-on into it and let them take it out. Because see, every business requires whatever they want to do. वो एक छोटा सा काम करना चाहते हैं, उसको उनमें एनकरेज कीजिए और अपने बिजनेस में उसको इंटीग्रेट कर दीजिए. तो वो उससे क्या होगा कि आपका बच्चा आप ही के पास है, लेकिन जब उसको बड़ा एक प्लेइंग फील्ड मिल जाता है ना, वो उसका इंटरेस्ट और बढ़ जाता है.
और उसको एक चैलेंज जरूर आ रहा था, विच आई कुड फील इट, कि शायद बहुत अच्छा नहीं लगता उसको कि वेयर एवर ही यूज्ड टू गो, अच्छा आप वो महेश त्रिखा जी के बेटे हैं ना, हाँ हाँ बैठिए। तो आई फेल्ट
नहीं होता है सर, वो
आई
कुछ
फेल्ट दैट उसको थोड़ा सा ऐसी बातें
स्पेस
ना
देते थे।
सुनने की बात आदत होनी चाहिए। So I started withdrawing myself, and after that, you know, he took it over, and now he only tells me कि आप ये करो, ये करो, ये करो, बाकी मैं कर रहा हूँ. So we are total
Good,
independent areas.
good है, good है. That's very important.
Otherwise it is. I feel it's very, very. And then my wife was also in the business. Otherwise, it is very difficult life. You know, you are carrying office home and home to the office.
Yes, yes. Make I
उसकी
remember
पेमेंट
there
नहीं,
used
उसका
to
पेमेंट
be.
नहीं आया, ये प्रॉब्लम हो गया, वो प्रॉब्लम हो गया, तो देन वी डिवाइडेड अ लाइन कि हम घर में बात ही नहीं करेंगे, आप
In
ऑफिस
fact,
में।
Correct, correct, correct,
in
correct.
fact, Trika साहब,
हाँ जी सर।
Amit, precisely मिस्टर त्रिखा ने पूरी स्टेप्स जो एक्चुअली फॉलो करते हैं, ही हैज
हाँ,
फॉलोड इट। इफ यू लिसन टू
oh
मिस्टर
yes.
कन्वर्सेशन ना, त्रिखा साहब,
हाँ, हाँ.
आपके बेटे ने बाहर एक्सपोजर लिया। मोस्ट ऑफ द बिजनेस फैमिलीज वी हैव सीन, दे गो आउट ऑफ द फैमिली, टेक्स एक्सपीरियंस इन द कॉर्पोरेट, राइट अमित?
Yes.
एंड जो त्रिखा साहब आपने किया इंटेलिजेंटली, आपने प्रेशर दिया नहीं, लेकिन आप उनको ऑब्जर्व करते रहे जो आप शेयर कर रहे थे। वो जो आपने फ्रीडम दिया इज
Hands on किया.
हाँ, हेल्पिंग द लीडर टेक हिज स्टेप, ही लर्न, ही केम बैक। और एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट जो आपने पॉइंट आउट किया, पीपल यूज्ड टू से कि आप इनके बेटे हो। द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज ऑफ द जनरेशन टेकिंग ओवर इज to get into the shoes and to be known for themselves. तो आपने जो explain किया, actually these are first 3 critical steps which every business family faces a problem with. I wanted to put it through. Sorry, Amit, I barged in.
One thing
No, no,
I
no, no,
wanted
no.
to stay here, थोड़ा डिफरेंस
जी,
हम दोनों में ये भी था कि when he was sent abroad, I was a service class guy, तो हमारा कोई प्लान बिजनेस में नहीं था, तो I had not sent him कि you know, like other big houses have that there's a business going on and the children are going and coming back. तब हमारा I was in a job, तब हमारा 1% भी ड्रीम नहीं था कि हम बिजनेस में आएंगे।
नहीं,
तो हाँ, तो थोड़ा एक ये भी हमारे में फर्क था।
80% केसेस हम लोगों ने देखा है फैमिली बिजनेस में, 80% केसेस में
We are overshooting the
तो
time.
बाहर एक्सपोजर लिया है।
We have one CA, our past president, Mr. Pradeep Gupta. So probably he's handling many companies, and probably Pradeep bhai, can you just speak in 2-3 minutes to summarize what you have seen with multiple companies with your experience?
Good evening, everybody.
गुड इवनिंग, गुड
Good
इवनिंग।
evening, Gupta ji.
Well,
कैसे हैं?
and thank you, Ravindra bhai, for such a interesting subject. Basically, this is a very very pertinent and interesting subject to all. Basically,
Yes.
generation we are in, like I'm a chartered accountant, in profession, in practice, basically. So my son is also a chartered accountant. The most difficult part was to bring him into the practice, because once he qualified from my office only. He did articleship under me, qualified, and then joined EY, switched to KPMG once, and then to this third one, Deloitte, in 3 years. Then the biggest challenge was to bring him into practice. So I was interested. I was not interested he to continue in service, no, because I have been practice right from my start of the career, no, basically. So I started in '86. So from '86 onwards, I am in practice, and he suddenly qualifies and then joins the service. So he was not interested to come back, basically. But I had to coerce him. यार practice में इतना free hand मिलेगा, service में आपको morning में जाना है, you have to sit late till night, of a travel आपको अपने हिसाब से करना है. Here you are traveling, here you are your own boss. So ultimately, last year, 1 year back, I have to give him one incentive also. I have to give him my office. I purchased an office and gave it so that he basically. And then I used to tell him, यार ये तेरे लिए होना है, मेरे को नहीं पता है. You have to sit here. So this is the office. Now I'm sitting because of the COVID. I'm sitting in this office. My office basically. So that was how you have to coerce, and you have to basically give some incentive to the next generation to come into your thing. No? And now he is looking after all the clients, big clients. He gets the incentive is that he gets the clients which he could not have seen otherwise. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bit of the thing.
Clear.
Now have the closing remarks and probably.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So I have to basically now the thing is that he now got into it, and now he says, yeah, now this is better than what I was doing in service.
Sure.
Because there the timing restrictions was there. No? He has to reach office at say 9, 9:30, 10. Here anytime you come, anytime you go, you're on boss. Though you have to maintain discipline.
Mr.
But still-
Gupta, your audio is not clear.
Yeah, I think some problems there with the audio.
What we'll do is, since this is an interesting topic, we will have an extended webinar again sometime very shortly.
Okay.
And would love to have all of you share your experience, because that will enrich.
Yeah.
And briefly what we'll do is, today, to sum it up, because people will have to move also, I think it was a wonderful discussion, and very clearly there are very key pointers in this, very simple pointers. One is giving exposure and identifying the leader, because a person who takes on the role of a business or a family business is not only the director. He or she is a CEO, is a leader, needs to understand the business, needs to understand the family culture, needs to understand the company culture, and there has to be a nicely worked out, as Amit and Mr. Goel also pointed out, a thoughtful or a planned transition which is there, right, Amit?
Yeah.
And sometimes I've seen certain families which are quite large and big, which Mr. Barua also shared and Mr. Goel also shared. Most of these companies have also tried to, big or small, have created a family constitution. Typically, just like anything, which is a sacrosanct policy within the company, what has to be done, what not has to be done, which Amit also shared. Do's and don'ts, ethics. What does the company belong for? And I would like to once again thank everybody. It was quite exciting. We organized an extended session of this, and it was very, very constructive contribution from everybody. Every viewer contributed valuable thoughts and ideas which will take us to the next discussion. So we respect everybody's ideas and thoughts. Everybody had an important input and suggestion. Because of the constraint of time, I have to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice weekend. We will extend and create a new topic on the same. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.